need to talk about death and grief because everybody is going to be there one day, and we're going to grieve more than once in our life. So we really need to help each other and do it the right way.
We had experts here, we had academics here, but we had a lot of community members here, and it was so powerful. It was powerful to hear the voice of a child who had experienced loss. It was powerful to hear a broadcaster talk about her experience. It was powerful from just so many perspectives.
When someone dies, it's really important that they have their community to support them, and they know what to do and what to say and how to sit in the discomfort of emotions. So that's neighbours, work colleagues, family, community members. They are the community members that support someone that's going through the grieving process.
Sharing experiences, learning from other people, and is providing a forum for people to share their stories and feel comfortable. Because there's no greater relief, I can tell you, no greater relief when you hear somebody say, I know exactly how you feel.
We're all in touch with community. Not everybody has the ability to afford professional services or know how to seek professional services. So if the community is educated and articulate in how to resource what is needed, then they can put people in touch with the professionals that are needed to deal with the situation.
It's the knowledge, it's the awareness, and people need to know about that. They don't know. The person that doesn't cross the road to help somebody, when they know that they are ill or dying, it's because they don't know. They don't know how to deal with it. They're not educated. This is educating people, making them aware how they can help.
14% of people in Australia die at home, 70% want to. So it's absolutely a no-brainer of what we're trying to do. It's just a matter of getting off our backsides and doing it.
Talking and sharing really does help. I have learnt that in life sometimes can be hard, and we need to all look out for each other.
A compassionate community means to me like you feel heard, and like you can always go to someone and say, and you don't feel like you're going to get judged or anything.
So to me, a compassionate community is a community there where you actually belong and you all take a collective responsibility for each other's well-being.
My son passed away 5 years ago now, and he was my fourth child. For me, compassionate communities is working together throughout that process, whether it be from before their incident to during and after. It's talking their name, working with the families to build that relationship and letting them know that it's okay to talk about it and grieve over whether it be the good days or the bad days.
I believe that a compassionate community includes involving all of our community, looking at the next generation and how we can help them to feel connected, like they belong, and how their thoughts, feelings and actions matter.
Sharing the burden of grief with others just makes the whole transformational experience around death easier to carry.
Everyone has their own beliefs, their own values, the things that make them them. And I think when we're planning a funeral ritual for a person, it's important to acknowledge those things and include those things in the ritual.
Palliative care volunteers demonstrate their value for the skill and care of the palliative care team. Knowing our work is meaningful, valuable and valued is sustaining and inspiring and brings out our best selves.
The delivery of clinical services is such a small part of what individuals and families experience. So for us, the compassionate community wraparound is essential. It's not just an optional extra or a good to be if we could get it. It's actually critically important.
We have a public health response and we have palliative care response.
But the fact that people live in communities, that they're connected to communities, that people who might be left behind when a person dies has a different relationship with community. And if people feel confident about reaching out and talking with the person about their experiences, or supporting a person who is going through a process of dying, that I think is tremendously important in terms of helping people to feel that they are part of community.
Less than 5% of the time that a dying person spends, or a grieving person spends, is spent in front of a doctor or a nurse. 95% of the time a dying person spends, they spend alone, or with family, or with friends. If you care about end-of-life care, you've got to ask yourself, what are we doing in that 95%?
And in embracing it, we need people around us who understand it and who can help us all. So it's been a very important day, I think, for all of us. I think there's been joy and there's been sadness. But out of today, we should go out with a sense of optimism, a sense of purpose, and a sense of hope.
If we're going to do dying and death and grief as well as we possibly can, we need to be utilising the resources, the skills, the passion, the commitment that's in our community. I thought it was an extraordinary event today. It was about a community conversation about compassionate communities, and it was so powerful because it actually was a community conversation.
What motivates someone to talk about death is different for everyone, but it's something we will all experience at some point in our lives. It's a vast topic we'd rather avoid, don't want to think about or deal with until we absolutely have to. For many people, this is the case. So let's converse in the hard and find the gentle place to land in conversation, compassion and connection. Together we create a space for death talk and bring back the act of love and a compassionate community. Being part of a community can have a positive effect on our mental health and emotional well-being. Community involvement provides a sense of belonging and social connectedness. It can also offer extra meaning and purpose to everyday life. So together, let's build a compassionate and connected WA.